Good evening and welcome to our weekly update or weekly check-in for Glendale Heights United Methodist Church. My name is John Shugart. I serve as the pastor here at Glendale Heights. Wanted to get on. This is what we do every Thursday at around 7 p.m. And have the weekly update. So I'm going to allow some folks to come into the feed as we begin our weekly update for this week. So I wanted to start this week by reminding you that we are going to be worshiping virtually on Facebook, and then it'll be posted to YouTube, but that this is also a Communion Sunday. And so what that means is that we will have communion that will be available outside at the church, and we will do that the same way we did it back in June. And what that will look like is, if you did not participate last time, that we will do the whole service starting at 11 and ending with the communion liturgy. Amy Davis and I will do that this week. And so we'll have the communion liturgy will be on the virtual service, and the elements will be blessed. And then we will set up a table outside that you can come and receive communion. You'll drive up, and please wear a mask and be conscious of who else is there. But by car, we will you'll be able to come up and get your receive communion, and then you'll be able to do between 11:30 and 12 have communion. We also we'll continue in our Romans sermon series. I think that this week we are going to be in Romans chapter 9, verses 1 through 5. So if you are following along and want to read ahead, you can read Romans chapter 9, verses 1 through 5. And that's in our sermon series that's entitled Broken, Good News for Tough Times. And that's from a book I've been working on for a lectionary sermon series. So another quick announcement is that I was at the church today and working a little bit in my office up there, and I saw Pam Norris was dropping something by. She had a mask on. We talked for a little bit, and it was so good to see Pam and just hear how she's doing. I miss all of you. I miss seeing all of you on a regular basis. So if we have an interaction like that at the church, I think that is appropriate. If you're dropping something off at the church, like your tithes or offerings. And again, I would encourage you to wear a mask just for Joe's sake and for my sake. And if I am up there, I can wear a mask and we can talk 6 feet apart. But it was good to see her, and it was something that I have mentioned. I will be, once I register, trying to spend at least a little bit of time up at the church office. I've been working mostly from home recently, and so I want to be up there for those kind of chance encounters. I don't want to have anything formally scheduled yet, just until I know what my school schedule looks like. But I am going to make that conscious effort, and maybe in that way we can have some one-on-one interactions up at the church. So next week on Thursday, we will have another Psalm Zoom Bible study, and that will be Psalms basically 75 through around 100. That'll be what we get to next week. I think it might be exactly 100, but we'll have to I'll have to double check. And so you can do that, and you can participate. We'll send out that link via email again. And we had a great Zoom Bible study last time we did it, and so we're going to do a smaller chunk, just 25 Psalms. So if you've been reading along and want to participate in a group Bible study virtually, we'll be doing that this coming Thursday at 7:30, right after this live update. So I thought it might be interesting for those who are tuning in or those who are watching later. For me, I've been working at the office here at the parsonage, getting it ready to be an online student, getting ready to spend a lot of time in here working on papers and working on different things for my second year of seminary. And also, this is where I mostly write my sermons. And so I thought it might be fun to do a quick little office tour and then maybe look at some of the tools that y'all, as our congregation, has been able to, together through your generosity, provide for us to have a better virtual worship experience. And so I'll start with that office tour, and to do that, I'm using our software that we use every Sunday. It's called eCam Live, and with that, you're able to plug in. This is the webcam on my Mac, but you're able to plug in other cameras, and there's a neat app on the iPhone that allows me to use it as a camera. So I'm going to switch to camera 2 real quick, and I'll show you my office. So now I want to make sure it looks good. I'm looking at my iPhone's camera. It's connected to the computer, and as you can see, I don't know, some of you were here for Christmas, but I painted the office. I wanted it to be pleasing to look at, since I'll be spending a lot of time in here. So I went with this dark greenish color, and I wanted to have this space be a place where I could spend a lot of time and start to make it just look nicer. And so I painted it that green color. And so I'll just kind of walk you around. So on this wall, obviously this is kind of empty space right now, but I've got a bookcase here, and top row is just kind of some different school supplies, and then we've got the Feasting on the Word commentary collection, and then the New Interpreters commentary collection, the Book of Worship, Book of Discipline, a couple different Bibles. So this is mainly where I keep things I use on a weekly basis to write sermons. And then so coming around, this is my new computer setup. Just got this monitor in today, and so I can kind of do this double monitor setup. But yeah, I think that'll be good for paper writing. Got kind of the microphone. I'm just testing that out right there. But yeah, over here is my kind of my sermon writing notebook and Bible, the lectionary sermon series book I'm using, and a hymnal. Got some pictures here. So I've got me when I'm little with my dad, my mom and I on my wedding day, and then these are my roommates from college when we graduated. Got diploma and pastoral ministry license from licensing school. Got the United Methodist calendar, about to switch it over to July. And then just across the board here, just some little random trinkets and things here. Some pictures I need to put in frames. And then on this wall, I've got two cool black and white church pictures. I've got Glendale Heights and then First United Methodist Church of Orlando, and just kind of ended up with both of those pictures. And I think I'll probably continue to collect those black and white church pictures from wherever we end up in ministry in this itinerant system. I got a print of Durham, a print of a restaurant in Florida on the water that I really like, this Florida State sign, and then this place in Key West. This is a little sneak preview of my school schedule, what I think it's going to look like. I won't know for sure until I get registered officially on next Tuesday. But it looks like I'll have Mondays and most of Tuesdays where I won't have as much to do. And so just a quick rundown of kind of what happens on a regular Sunday. So this is the camera that we purchased. It's a little Canon camcorder, and it is what we use at the church for live streaming, and it'll work also when we're able to worship in person when we have everyone back in the sanctuary. So that's why we went with this camera. This is the microphone that we got to provide some better audio, and then it connects to this little box which goes into the computer. So, like I said, the software that we use runs through my laptop, and if you look at this screenshot, this is kind of a behind the scenes of what I see every week when we go, when we have live worship. The box here is, there's a way to monitor the sound. There is the screen that I see. There's the different scenes that you can see are what we switch from. That's how I run the slides. And then there's the comments and reactions section, and that's the way that I've been able to show y'all the prayer requests and comments and concerns that come in. So that's just my office very briefly, and the technology that we use every Sunday. We set it up, and I've kind of been running that through my laptop. It's been working well so far, and we're going to keep trying to get better at it. But yeah, I just thought, as we haven't seen each other in a while, that I could show you my office and show you how we actually do worship now on Sundays. So just if you're just joining us or you watch this later, a couple things. We'll have a Psalms Bible study next Thursday at 7:30. I'll send out more details on that. I ran into Pam Norris at the church today. I mentioned that. It was great to see her. She actually mentioned that one of the sad or hard things for her during this pandemic is that the public library is closed. And just before I got on here, I was thinking maybe we could do kind of like a book exchange at the church. If there's an old book that you're done reading, or one that you would highly recommend that's sitting on your shelf right now, maybe when you come up to the church, and if you drop something off, like your tithes or offerings, you could drop a book off, or this Sunday when we have communion, that you could bring a book with you, and we could kind of swap those out if you think that might be something interesting. Or you could kind of just text one another and do a book swap that way. So something to think about. Also, I mentioned at the beginning of the update this week that we'll have communion. Look out for instructions for that. You can go back and rewatch the instructions that I gave at the beginning. It'll be hybrid online with the liturgy on Facebook Live, and then you'll be invited between 11:30 and 12:30 to participate at the church. If you don't want to come, you don't feel safe coming, or you prefer not to do communion this way, that's okay. If you would like to participate, you can certainly do that through your prayers and your presence on the virtual feed. But you could also have the elements at your house if you are inclined to do so. I know it's been hot, and I know that obviously right now being around other people can be is anxiety provoking, and we don't want to put anyone in a situation where they don't feel safe or comfortable doing that. But I'd invite you all to come between 11:30 and 12:30 to receive communion. We'll be wearing masks and sanitizing everything and making sure we are distant from each other, a safe distance apart. So look out for instructions for that. Glenda wrote on our comment section and asked how Blaine is doing. Blaine Thomas was the friend of mine, young man who's going into his second year, so we're in the same year together, who was shot a couple days ago now. He's doing as well as he could. He had several successful surgeries. He has been able to walk around a little bit and sit up, and now just starting kind of a long road to recovery. So continued prayers for Blaine and his family, for just this awful and crazy and horrible thing that's happened to him. But he has been a witness even during this time in his life, and it speaks to his faith and it speaks to his maturity as a Christian, and giving thumbs up. And he wrote on a blackboard, or a whiteboard rather, God is still good. And so I've been just blown away by the messages of support that he's received through Facebook and his GoFundMe page that's raised over $60,000. It just speaks to who Blaine is as a person, and how he cares for other people, and how they've in turn responded with love for him. And he was actually in the chaplain summer internship CPE program at Duke University Hospital, where he's at now, and it just speaks to his faith that he was able to write that message. God is still good. So maybe as you go through your week, reflect on how God has been good to you, even in times of really hard things, and in really great times, that God is still good, even in a pandemic, even if when all these things are going on around us, God is still good, and we'll take that message from Blaine with us. And I hope to see you Sunday morning at 11 a.m. For virtual worship, and then afterwards at 11:30 for communion outside of the church. So go in peace to love and serve this week.